Hello there. Thank you very much, Jason, for joining me. And I would like to address our audience for just a moment and say welcome and thank you for investing your time into Mom's Making Bank, as well as my own line, which is Social Marketing Wizards. And Jason is one of the many wizards that we'll be talking to. And he has a plethora of information for us in many businesses. And you have partners on all of these businesses, Jason, or just a few?
My wife is the main partner.
Well, that's wonderful news.
Yeah. And then I do have business relationships with other folks as well. Sure.
Okay, so when you started working online, where did you start? And were you married at that time? And I'm going to throw a ton of questions at you, but basically tell us a little bit about your story.
Sure. Yeah. We were married when we started. We started on eBay. We started because we needed money. We were in a really horrible mortgage situation. It was 2006, 2007. And it was a disaster. We had just moved to California and bought a house, and we were idiots, didn't know what we were doing, got into what's called a NAGAM loan. And man, we weren't trying to be high rollers or anything, but we were sure in a mess. And so we needed money. So we started selling on eBay. And my wife has a superpower, and that is making fashion in miniature. So she can look at something designed, by anybody and make it for 18-inch American Girl dolls.
Oh.
And to a remarkably high degree of quality. And so we started, the local Brownie Troop moms would ask her, where did you get this stuff? And then I said, man, we need money. Could we sell this stuff on eBay? And we started to do that. We did it for 18 months. We got good at doing auctions. We would auction her outfits for up to $400 or $500. That was sort of the high point.
That were all pre-made? Are you saying they were all pre-made, not just the patterns?
She would make the item. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And we did that for 18 months, and she got burned out sewing all night, and we could make the money from it, but it was just not a good business model. So we shifted into selling her designs as digitally downloaded patterns. And that's really what's taken off. We started in September 2009. So it's like literally 10 full years. And since we launched that, and now, like last year, we averaged 60 to 70,000 downloads a month. We have a site, Pixie Fair, that has become the location on the internet for doll-sized patterns. We have about 100 design partners that we publish for. These are moms making money around the world, from the UK to Australia, New Zealand, Canada, lots in the US, of course. This year, we think we'll sell about $500,000 worth of their products, not even just our own, but theirs. And so we're helping them make a lot of money.
Wow.
So that's what it's turned into. Yeah.
Oh, well, I think I better get into that niche. My goodness, I didn't realize it was such a heavy hitter there, Jason. You've just been such a great mentor to me, and I know that you are to many other people. And one of the things that I was noticing with some of my other colleagues that I was chatting to is they're going, oh, it's so lonely to work at home and by yourself and all that. And you're just proving in so many ways that you've gone all over the world, really, and you're doing fundraisers as well.
Right. Yeah. We started a charity. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're the man with all the information.
Yeah, we started a charity in 2010, just as a little thing. We started calling Liberty Jane Gives Back. That's our brand for the designs. And so ultimately we started selling auctions. This pickle that we were in 10 years ago, we ultimately moved out of the house. We lost the house. So the reason we started our business didn't solve the problem that we had, but we're so glad we started the business, and it's changed our lives. It's helped us change a lot of people's lives. It's helped us make a difference around the world. So in 2010, we started a charity just to start to give money to a sewing program in Zambia, and that's turned into actually a big charity at this point now. We have volunteers around the world. We have a lot of stuff happening. It all goes to support program work in Zambia, Africa, and we're really super passionate about that. So we have a sewing-related brand and a sewing-related charity, and they obviously complement each other really nicely.
And then you have other events that you do. Do you do live events, Jason?
No, but I'm going to start doing them this winter.
Are you?
So I think,
Very good. Well,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
well, but you have other online businesses, like you were with
right.
Shopify. Are you with
Mhm.
Amazon as well?
So yeah, what one of the things that happened was when we launched our big site, which is called Pixie Fair. People can go check it out. We launched on the Shopify platform, and over the last few years, our site has just become one of the top Shopify sites in the world based on worldwide site traffic. And so in 2014, Shopify did a case study about us, and it was called "How One Couple Makes $600,000 a Year Selling Digital Goods." And it was the article got installed in their onboarding marketing, and so it got just tons and tons of engagement. And people kept asking me, "How did you do this? How do you do Shopify?" And so I launched a course called "Winning on Shopify," and so that course is on Udemy, and it's really led to coaching, and we have Inner Circle program. And then I also have written books. I was a blogger as well, and so I have books with McGraw-Hill. Um, so yeah, I've always been the marketer for our business. So I've just always been willing to share what I do and what I know. And we're in such an interestingly small niche that I'm not afraid to sort of just talk about what we do and share openly about our numbers and our information.
So
And I
when
think
you're
people
saying that
respect that.
you teach people how to launch a business on Shopify, do you do a one-on-one with these people as well, or is this like you
Yeah.
just give little courses and they purchase that little course as they go?
Both. We have the Udemy course, which is I don't know how many hours. It might be like 5 hours of training or something like that. And so we've had, I think, 25,000 people go through that, something like that, some crazy number. Maybe it's through all my Udemy courses because they're different ones that are connected. But then we also do one-on-one coaching with store owners. A lot of times there will be people who are successful at Amazon or successful at eBay, and they want to launch their own site. They want to launch onto Shopify. And so we work with them. And my business partner in that work is a guy named Kyle Hamer. He's a top Amazon seller. He has several brands on Amazon. And so I represent the Shopify aspects. He represents the Amazon aspects, and we work together with people that way. Yeah.
Well, that's what I love about this business overall is that we can all connect with each other. I met you in
Yeah.
Texas, but I had already taken one of your courses online, not knowing that I was going to someday meet you. So this is just awesome. And I want people to know that out there, that maybe in their own homes and in their basement. I'm in a basement office that I've made. And
Sure.
but you're not alone. You can reach out to people,
Right.
and we're in different time
Right.
zones. And Zoom is fabulous for those things. So where would people actually start then? Would you advise them to just take a lot of courses first, or to set up a store and then take the courses and keep building it? How do they actually start?
If people are starting from scratch, I mean, there's so many paths now, there's so many different avenues of moving forward. It really depends on what they're passionate about, what they like to do and don't like to do. It's almost like fielder's choice. There's just, you've got to match what your interest and enthusiasm is with what online opportunities look like. And so it's hard to just tell people, go do this. When I had my kids make money for their own missions trips in the summertime, I had them sell on Amazon. They would go do retail arbitrage, go buy some junk at a store, put it on Amazon, make money. And they did that, and they got their money for their trip. So like with my own kids, that's what I told them to do. I have a friend who made $80,000 one year just doing garage sailing and selling the items on eBay and Amazon. So but it depends. That's not for everybody. Yeah.
Hmm. But you and your wife started this business, and she's your business partner overall. And so,
Mhm.
so for other people that may not have as strong as relationship as you, that is a
Yeah.
hard thing to do. I mean, my background originally, like my parents, my father owned a restaurant, a chain of restaurants in Toronto. So he was like the boogeyman to me, really, because of the high pressure and the hours
Right.
that it takes, the commitments that it takes. So it can split a relationship. So
Right.
that's got to be something else that comes into play on how people would
Yeah.
keep their marriages alive. Is there a trick?
People. Yeah, people ask us that a lot. How does it work to, a lot of business guys who maybe started a company hear that I work with my wife. That's their first question is, how does that work? And, honestly, we're recording this now, started at 10 a.m. My wife and I just literally, she was working in the morning. I was working in the morning, and about 9 o'clock, we said, hey, do we have time to go for a walk? So we went for a nice walk. We got back 10 minutes before we started this conversation. And I think what we've learned over the 10 years of working together, and I guess I should say I went full time with the home-based business on January 1st, 2014. Before that, for like 5 years, I moonlighted and did evenings and weekends to support the business. But so it's been a long time that we worked together at home. And we have an office downtown as well that we have meetings at throughout the week with our team. But I think the thing is having complementary strengths. If you have a spouse or a partner that has a complementary strength, you're going to do well if you honor and respect their strength. And if you have a business partner or a spouse who you have the same strength, technical skill set or whatever, I think it can be really problematic. But everybody has to find their own way. And if people know themselves well. I consider myself retired. I feel like I retired on January 1st, 2014. So I might work 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week. It doesn't feel like work to me. I mean, I know what Warren Buffett's talking about when he says he taps dances to work every day, because this isn't work. This is just screwing around,
Well, I know that lately I have been getting really excited with learning, because I went off onto things that were probably too large for me at first, and needed to scale back. But now when I'm learning these things, it's like that aha moment. I've heard that word before. That's what it meant. And so now it's coming together. But it did take time. You did a little faster than I am. Of course, I'm still a newbie at everything because I keep reinventing myself. But that's okay too. People don't always get their first niche right off the bat, do they?
Yeah. No, honestly, it's funny you said we went fast. I first heard about somebody making money online in 1998. And the guy was making $1,000 a day. He had a website that he set up for traffic school, online traffic school, and he needed somebody to help him a couple hours a week. And I was looking for money and looking for a job, and I didn't work with him. But when I heard about his business, I was like, oh man, I mean, that's my dream. So, but for 10 years, I didn't know what to do. I guess I didn't even understand how eBay worked. I didn't. And so for 10 years, I floundered. And looking back on it now, man, if I would have just taken little steps, little action steps, it doesn't matter if I don't have it all figured out, I just take the next logical step, I would have probably saved 10 years. And who knows where we'd be today, But everybody starts at zero, and everybody's a learner. Even after doing this for 10 years, I'm still totally confused and learning all the time.
But because
that's just the nature of it.
And evolving, right? I know that after I met you in Texas, that was still fine, and I still didn't plug in. And I saw you doing, I guess, a webinar, and you were in Seattle, and you were out on the kayak. And I had just come home from kayaking, and I thought, that's it. That's my goal. There's my man.
Oh, man. People talk about that all the time. I should do that again.
Yes. Well, you're
in the training from the kayak, from my lake, not my lake, the local lake. Yeah.
Well, and that just goes to show people that just a little here and a little there, and you get a little inspiration here and there, and you can go for it and reach out to people like yourself, and the opening arms or the hand that's out there, and you're not overcharging, I don't think, for anything that you're doing. And it's just, what day is it that people could, it's live events that you're doing online with Winning Circle, correct? Or influencer marketing?
We have an Inner Circle program. You can find out about all of our coaching and teaching stuff on winningonshopify.com. And so we have an Inner Circle program where we do live trainings every month. And then we also have coaching where we do one-on-one sessions weekly with people. So winningonshopify.com is where you check out all that
So
stuff.
people would check out, and then they would be able to get a hold of you. And I know
That's
that
right.
you've always answered quickly when I've chatted you. So that's always a plus too, because you're not lost. I don't know how you get all this down with all that you're doing. And I'm just, somebody else in Ontario, Canada, and just a little message sent to you, and you answer me pretty quickly. And it's nice because you're not in some big corporation and just lost in the numbers pool, right? Right.
No.
So
We try to be really honest with people and really down to earth and really practical. I'm not a hype guy. I'm probably a failure at a lot of the marketing work for online info products because I don't care to do overhyping, overselling, just over the top stuff. I just not my style. I'm really, this is hard work. Online businesses is hard work, and I don't like to deceive people and just talk about the sugar-coated shiny object stuff, So yeah, I like to work with people who are real, and I try to be honest with people. So
yeah, and that's why I wanted to reach out to you to come on this podcast with me, because I think I was delusional on how many hours that I would need to, but now it's become far more interesting. Before, when I first started, it just seemed like a chore, and I wasn't committed, I guess. And then when I saw where it would go and how it's not necessarily easy, but the lifestyle is fabulous. And I love traveling to some of these events. And so tell me about the new events you're going to be starting up soon.
Yeah, well, we have a new book coming out called Your Money Machine. It's basically an overview of what I like to teach people, which is called a niche brand, product making. I mean, it's basically a robust version of private label, work where you really find a brand and an audience that you work hard to serve. And the book is all about strategies for creating that, and then the whole life cycle of launching it, product, price, placement, promotion, traffic strategies, and it's packed with interviews. And I think with the launch of this book, we're going to turn it into probably podcast, which I've never done before, and probably live events as well. And so we're excited about that.
Well, that's where I've come from, because I just wrote a book and my editor told me to rewrite it. And it's Slay Your Dragon. And that's about people that have fears, just step out of their comfort zone, really. And people can cripple themselves just by worry and not taking that one little step forward, right? And,
absolutely.
Right. So, and then you're traveling all over and doing this sort of thing. So that's wonderful, Jason. Is there anything that you can add that you would like to add about your story and how, like, you have kids and everything, right? And how you can stay on the path without just saying, oh, I better go and work at McDonald's or something like that. Maybe McDonald's is the wrong analogy, but, for somebody else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think all of us have to ask the question, why are we doing anything we do? And it gets to the idea of really understanding the reason for the profit. And you've got to have what, some people call purpose beyond profit. That maybe is supporting yourself financially. Maybe you're just paying the utility bills, working to pay your mortgage. Maybe it's getting your kids, through college. Maybe you've got a personal passion project. Our personal energy is focused on helping a community in Zambia. And so that's the motivator behind our hard work, because I really believe if it's just for a Lamborghini, just for a stupid, like shiny object that you want to have, it's really not going to sustain you for long term, and really feed your soul and satisfy something deep inside you. And I really feel it's important to think about, like, what is the outcome of the work that's going to really satisfy you? And I think that's making a difference for people and serving customers well and serving others with enthusiasm and energy. And I would just encourage everybody to do the deep work involved in figuring out why you want to make money in the first place, and then really get clear on that and go after it, and take steps towards helping other people along the way.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's helping other people along the way. And so with your, I'm sorry, where is your sewing power? It's Sewing Power?
Zambia. Lusaka, Zambia.
And you go there.
We go every year. We have a charity that's set up. We do an annual trip. We will help this year. We will help about 8,500 children, and we create jobs that have what we call purposeful products produced, and they help children stay in school. And next year, our goal is 12,500 kids to be helped, and then we think we'll be at 20,000 program beneficiaries, within 18 to 24 months.
And
so our program is growing tremendously.
Sorry, Jason, I didn't mean to cut you off, but there's a delay in these podcasts, so forgive me. So do people go with you?
They do. We take a group of donors every year, and so they see the work. They're basically givers already to our program, and people who have stepped up and come alongside us. And so they go, they see the work. They're there to become ambassadors and to really raise their awareness and understanding of how our model works. And so it's not really a hands-on work trip or anything like that. It's really about them understanding what it is that they're funding. And, we're building a new building right now. So there's some enthusiasm and excitement around that. And it's fun stuff. So. And
to keep you humble enough, to keep everyone humble enough to come home and not worry about the small little things and go forward so that you can help others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I want you to send me off all your information, please, so that I can put it on the bottom of this podcast. So people that want to get a hold of you, and I highly recommend that. And thank you again for all your time and interest. And I'll be contacting you again soon to find out how I can get my personal mentoring going, because I go and I kind of let it go for a while and I come back to it. And I've stopped Amazon right now, and I'm just on Shopify. So I am on Shopify. I have my own book, and now I have this podcast thing going on as well, and helping people to moms making bank. So together.
Love it. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Okay. Thanks, Jason. Bye for now.
Yeah. Bye.